Guys, I'm so excited because today I'm going to review one of my favorite movies of all time, John Carpenter's The Thing. And I'm going to do kind of a twofer in this review because I just bought the Thing Steelbook from Target. It's a Target exclusive. It's a Mondo Steelbook, and you can only get it online. And I got to mention my buddy Durant Cinema, the poor guy. He did a drive video where he drove out to Target to find this. And I think he went to 2 or 3 different Targets and they didn't have it. So I felt so bad for him. I ordered this, I got it online. So Durant, order this thing, man. You will not regret it. It's beautiful. So I'm going to do a quick little unboxing with you guys and then we're going to review the movie. So let's get started. Okay guys, real quick, gonna do a quick unbox for you. This is what the front looks like. It's got this plastic sleeve, and this is what the back looks like. You can see Kurt Russell there. And this is what the spine looks like. Really cool looking. Now I'm gonna take it out. You can see it's got this little Mondo label right here, and you got the Thing logo. So you just got the label and then the plastic. And then this is the actual steel book. Good God, this thing's beautiful. Without the plastic over it, there's what the spine looks like. And the back is pretty much just the night sky. So you can see that this is the universal release, but it even gives you the custom Mondo disc art. It looks like just the Thing art in the background. And there's what it looks like without the disc. Okay, and on to the review. The Thing stars Kurt Russell and is directed by John Carpenter. So who doesn't love The Thing? I am actually kind of new to The Thing because I had seen it maybe 7-8 years ago for the first time. I'd always seen it at the video stores growing up. For some reason it never grabbed my attention. When I finally did watch it, wow, it is definitely the type of movie that you will never forget for the rest of your life. And it is so powerful and moving and unsettling. If you haven't seen The Thing, just trust me, there is nothing like it. The Thing is really a kind of a remake of The Thing from Another World that was in the 1950s, I believe. But John Carpenter, he read the book, Who Goes There, which that movie was based off of, but was told in a very different way. So he wanted to do an adaptation of the actual book. So if you watch the two movies, they're very, very different. The Thing is basically the story of a group of scientists that are stationed in Antarctica. And then at the beginning of the movie, there's this helicopter that's coming along, and you see this dog, and the helicopter's chasing the dog. It's one of those husky dogs. Immediately the dog runs up to one of the scientists, and then the guy in the helicopter, he starts shooting at the dog. So immediately you're like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And as he's shooting at the dog, he ends up shooting at the actual scientist. So they have to defend themselves, so they shoot him. And this is where the story starts really coming into play. Once that dog gets into that camp, things start going rotten in Denmark. And very quickly you realize that this dog isn't a normal dog. It is actually the Thing. And so the Thing can spread itself from person to person, and that is what's so great about this movie, is the paranoia that sets in. You don't know who is the Thing throughout the whole movie. The characters don't know who the Thing is. Everybody just starts freaking out and turning on each other, and it is just so great. And on a side note, did you know that there's a character named Mac and a character named Windows in this movie? And this is before Mac and Windows, the computers, which is very suspicious. But what I love about this movie, like I said earlier, is the paranoia, the dread. It's a psychological thriller. Most of the time you are waiting for something to happen instead of something actually happening. And that is because John Carpenter directed it, who directed Halloween and is just a master at building suspense. And he is just constantly copied to this day. And nobody can replicate what John Carpenter did for the horror genre. And the funny thing about John Carpenter's directing is it's so simple. He doesn't do any flashy camera tricks. He just lets the camera sit there. For some reason, things just happen in that frame that scare the shit out of you. Now, throughout this review, I'm going to talk about a few particular scenes that are some of my favorites. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about Bowden. Rob Bowden was only around 21 years old when he did this movie, and I believe this was one of his first, and he is the guy that did the practical effects. Now, if you know The Thing, you know that the practical effects in this movie are probably the best practical effects before and since, really. And this movie came out over 30 years ago. And still to this day, when I watch it, the effects in this movie really just freak me out. They are creepy as hell. So much so that people hated the prequel because they chose to use CGI for some of the scenes. A little behind the scenes tidbit is Rob Bowden, I heard that he actually worked for like 21 hours straight some days, and the guy was just completely exhausted by the time he was finished with this movie, but he was so dedicated to putting out a great product. And you know what? 30 years later, the work paid off because we are still talking about The Thing, even more so. So one scene that really grabbed my attention was what I like to call the spider head scene. I'm not going to give away too many spoilers in this review. I might say some little tidbits here and there, but nothing that's going to take away from your enjoyment of this movie if you've never seen it. But basically the spider head scene is a scene where one of the members is having a panic attack and then it turns into a heart attack. And then something happens after that scene that just completely scared the living shit out of me when I first saw this movie. It just catches you by surprise, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll know why I call it the spiderhead scene after you watch the scene. Also, probably the most famous scene in the movie is the Petri dish scene. This is where Kurt Russell, who plays McCready, he's at his wit's end. Everybody is pointing fingers at everybody, including him, and he says, you know what, we're going to do a little test, and we're going to find out who's who. And so he takes these Petri dishes and he makes everybody pour their blood. If you touch the blood with heat, if it's the Thing, then it's going to react to it. And that scene was really freaking cool and scarier than shit. Just crazy stuff happens in that scene. And they even parodied that scene in South Park. Also, the score in The Thing is so great. John Carpenter did not actually do the score in this movie. The score was actually done by Ennio Morricone. He wanted to do the score in a way that Carpenter did scores. I guess he was an admirer of Carpenter's scores, so he really stuck to that Carpenter playbook when he did the score, and it really sounds like a John Carpenter score. But it is so effective because it is almost like a heartbeat throughout the whole movie. And you can feel it just getting faster and faster and faster. And finally, I'm going to talk about the ending. I'm not going to tell you what the ending is, but the ending is really ambiguous. And you can kind of take from it what you want, but it's a very satisfying ending to me. I enjoy it. So guys, if you are a horror fans or just film fans in general and have not seen The Thing, please go check this movie out. Oh my god, this is such a great movie. You might want to have some covers with you and cover your eyes because it might scare the living crap out of you, but it is one of the best, not only horror movies, but best movies I've ever seen. I love this movie so much. So of course, I'm going to give The Thing Trapped on an Island. And also, if you're a fan of The Thing and haven't seen the prequel, I would definitely check out the prequel because it links up perfectly to The Thing. You could actually watch both movies as a double feature, and it actually works out really nice. And I actually like a lot of the things that they did in the prequel. You could tell that they really were fans of John Carpenter's The Thing. And I remember reading that the director treated it like a crime scene and that he wanted to watch The Thing over and over and over again so that way the things that he put in his movie linked up perfectly to John Carpenter's. For example, the axe. There's an axe in John Carpenter's The Thing. Well, he shows why that axe ended up in that wall in his movie. So anyway, guys, I've had so much fun talking about The Thing and reminiscing about it, and I love this movie so much, and I love talking about horror movies. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your experiences with The Thing. What are your favorite moments from the movie? Anything else you want to talk about? What's your favorite John Carpenter movie? But guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And Humdrum out.